Yes, Kurt Russell is awesome, but how did the rest of John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China impact action in Western films for years to come? So today we're talking about Big Trouble in Little China, which Jeff Amato, you worked on.
Yeah, I played the character named Needles. I also helped set up and choreograph some of the fights in there.
You ready, Jack? I was born ready.
What are some of the martial arts elements that we see in Big Trouble in Little China?
John Carpenter was doing his homework, studying a lot of films coming out of Hong Kong, Raymond Chow, Run Shaw stuff. Guys doing animal styles and wushu.
How do you feel like some of the styles influence Western action films since Big Trouble in Little China?
That film broke a lot of ground because it was one of the first films where it was an entire Asian cast except for 3 of the leads. There wasn't a lot of American-made big martial arts films with magic, so it did break a lot of ground there.
I got a very positive attitude about this.
An element that really influenced the film was wuxia.
So what is wuxia?
It has a hero involved, magic and mystical stuff involved, but a lot of it is martial arts based. It was very popular during the 70s and 60s. You could see the influence of wuxia in Big Trouble in Little China. Zoo Warriors of Magic Mountain, Master of the Flying Guillotine, and John watched that a lot, I know that.
I know that one because that one had the zzz, and then it would get on your head, right? That's the one. Yeah, chop you off, yeah. So what are some common elements in wuxia that you see throughout different movies?
The good and evil fighting each other, the martial hero, mysticism, martial arts that's bigger than life, the storms that fly through the air and have extra powers, a special potion to give him extra power and strength and able to fly through the air and fight, trying to rescue the fair maiden, Lopan, who's this bigger than life character.
Tall guy, weird clothes, first you see him, then you don't.
In that film, we incorporated some wire work. It wasn't really done at that time. Actually, they had the storms fly through the air and they had dummies flipping through the air. They used trampolines to jump off of to fly through the air and capture moments in time. So there's a lot of tricks that were done then that is not necessarily done nowadays. Wire work it's much more prevalent.
You have Enter the Badlands, of course, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, now it's pretty normal to see fantastic martial arts fights and people flying through the air or reactions of getting hit.
So what it sounds like is that wuxia started kind of making its way towards North America with Big Trouble.
Big Trouble definitely was not a huge box office hit, but it definitely has legs. I mean, it's a huge cult classic, and people talk about it all the time, and it definitely opened the doors to more Western-made films with that type of influence, and also piqued people's interest here in the States to watch Hong Kong films and films made overseas. A lot of people I know were going to Chinatown and Koreatown and different places looking for martial arts films. I think that made it more palatable for when films like Matrix came out. It was the first time you ever saw huge martial arts action here as opposed to like a lot of gunplay. And I think later when Matrix came out, you really saw a huge influence of the wuxia then with Neo downloading martial arts and all the big, huge wire work that was involved and bringing Wu Ping into the picture to choreograph it, who was huge over in China and Hong Kong.
Let's zero in on the final fight scene. Where are the elements of wuxia in that scene right there? Because it seems pretty extreme.
A lot of magic happening. Dennis Dunn flying through the air, so there's flying, which is not characteristic of just normal reality. Fantastic swordplay and martial arts. Our hero trying to overcome evil. Wuxia is definitely based on heightened reality. It's like, people flying through the air and things that are not really grounded. Crouching Tiger, when that came out, it was very, very much accepted, as opposed to when Big Trouble came out, it was a lot sort of new. It wasn't mainstream action, basically, but it was definitely opened the doors to other films later down the line. Look at films nowadays. You have all these comic book action that's bigger than life and over the top. Lucia, back from the 70s, definitely helped open the doors for that to become more acceptable and create all these huge blockbuster films.
We've all grown to love it, and now they're blockbusters and not just cult films. Do you agree? What other films do you think have been influenced by wuxia? Jeff, where can people find you?
People can find me here at the Inasano Academy or through Stunts Unlimited.
And you can find your boy at Ify Wadiway on Twitter and Instagram, Ifdy's on Twitch. Thanks for watching The Fighting Show. Make sure you go to the Gamma Ray YouTube and Facebook page to watch previous episodes, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!